Have you ever noticed something strange? Two people can say the exact same sentence, but only one of them gets everyone's attention. One person walks into a room, speaks for 30 seconds, and everyone listens. Another person talks for 10 minutes, and nobody even remembers what they said. Why? Is it because they're smarter? More attractive? More successful? Not really. The truth is much more uncomfortable. People decide whether to take you seriously long before they judge your ideas. And the worst part? You might be making the same mistake every single day without even realizing it. By the end of this video, you'll discover the hidden psychological patterns that silently destroy your credibility and how changing just a few behaviors can completely transform the way people see you. Imagine two friends starting a new job on the same day. Alex is friendly, funny, and always eager to talk. Ryan is quieter. He doesn't speak much. He mostly watches. A week later, the manager asks for suggestions during a meeting. Alex immediately throws out 5 different ideas. Ryan waits. He listens. The room goes silent. Then Ryan says only one sentence. Surprisingly, everyone turns toward him. The manager writes down his idea. After the meeting, Alex feels confused. I talked much more than Ryan. Why did everyone listen to him instead? This happens everywhere. At school, at work, even inside families. Some people naturally command respect, while others constantly fight to be heard. The difference isn't intelligence. It's psychology. Our brains make incredibly fast judgments. Within seconds, people begin asking silent questions. Does this person seem confident? Can I trust what they say? Should I pay attention or ignore them? What's fascinating is that these questions are rarely answered by your words. They're answered by your behavior. Here's where most people unknowingly destroy their own image. They try too hard. Think about the last time you desperately wanted someone to like you. Maybe you laughed at every joke. Maybe you kept explaining yourself. Maybe you apologized over something that wasn't even your fault. In your mind, you were trying to appear kind. But another part of the human brain saw something completely different. Neediness. Psychologists have long observed something called status signaling. People constantly send invisible signals about how they see themselves, and others respond to those signals automatically. If you constantly seek approval, people unconsciously assume your own opinion isn't enough. If you don't believe in your value, why should they? This doesn't mean becoming arrogant. In fact, arrogant people usually have the opposite problem. They're trying to hide insecurity behind loud confidence. Real confidence is much quieter. Imagine a lion. Have you ever seen a lion trying to convince everyone that it's powerful? No, it simply exists. Meanwhile, small dogs often bark the loudest. That isn't confidence. It's compensation. Humans aren't very different. The louder someone tries to prove themselves, the more people start wondering what they're trying to hide. But there's another invisible habit that's even more damaging. Over-explaining. Suppose your friend asks, "Can you come tomorrow?" Instead of saying, "No, I'm busy," you say, "I'm really sorry. I have to help my cousin. Then I have another appointment. And after that I promised my parents." You keep talking, not because they asked, but because you're afraid they won't accept your answer. Every extra explanation quietly sends one message. I'm asking for permission to make my own decisions. Confident people don't feel the need to defend every choice. They understand something many people never learn. Not everyone has to agree with you, and that's okay. Here's a simple experiment. The next time someone disagrees with you, don't rush to defend yourself. Pause. Smile. Let's go back to Alex and Ryan. After that meeting, Alex decided something had to change. He started reading books about confidence. He watched videos about body language. He even tried speaking louder, but nothing changed. People still interrupted him, still ignored his suggestions, still treated him like the least important person in the room. One evening, Ryan noticed Alex sitting alone after work. He walked over and asked a simple question. "Can I tell you what you're doing wrong?" Alex nodded. Ryan smiled. "You think people stop respecting you when you speak. They stop respecting you much earlier. They stop respecting you much earlier." Alex looked confused. Ryan continued. "Every little action before you even open your mouth is telling people who you believe you are." That sentence changed everything. Because confidence doesn't begin with speaking. It begins with believing that your presence doesn't need constant approval. Over the next few weeks, Alex stopped trying to impress everyone. When he had nothing meaningful to add, he stayed quiet. When he had something valuable to say, he said it clearly. No long explanations, no nervous laughter, no asking for permission. At first, nobody noticed. Then something strange happened. People started asking for his opinion. Not because he suddenly became smarter, but because he finally stopped acting like his opinion mattered less than everyone else's. This is known as the law of perceived value. Think about a diamond. If you found one lying in the middle of the street with a sign saying free, you'd probably question whether it was real. Now imagine the same diamond locked inside a secure glass case. Suddenly, it feels valuable. Human psychology works in a similar way. The more desperately something asks to be accepted, the less valuable it appears. The more calmly it exists, the more attention it attracts. That's why people who constantly say, "Please listen to me. Do you agree with me? What do you think about me?" often receive the least respect. Meanwhile, someone who quietly stands by their values naturally earns curiosity. There's another habit that silently destroys credibility: making promises you don't keep. Maybe you've said, "I'll start exercising on Monday. I'll wake up early. I'll finish that project." But then, nothing happens. Most people think breaking those promises only affects their future. They're wrong. Every broken promise sends a message to your own brain. My words don't mean much. After enough repetitions, you begin doubting yourself. And that hidden doubt leaks into the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you make decisions. People may not know why, but they can feel it. On the other hand, every small promise you keep strengthens something invisible: self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of real confidence. Here's another truth that many people never hear. You cannot control whether everyone respects you. Some people won't like you no matter what you do. Some people will misunderstand you. Some people will judge you based on rumors, appearance, or their own insecurities. Trying to win everyone over is like trying to stop the rain. You'll only exhaust yourself. The goal isn't to be accepted by everyone. The goal is to become someone who doesn't abandon their values just to be accepted. That doesn't mean becoming cold or rude. Kindness is powerful. Humility is powerful. Listening is powerful. But kindness without boundaries becomes weakness in the eyes of many people. Respect grows where kindness and self-respect meet. So the next time someone interrupts you, don't fight to speak louder. Wait. Finish your sentence calmly. The next time someone disagrees with you, don't panic. Ask questions. Stay curious. The next time you're about to apologize for simply existing, stop. Ask yourself, did I actually do something wrong? If the answer is no, don't apologize. Little by little, these moments reshape the way others see you. More importantly, they reshape the way you see yourself. And that's where everything begins. Because the world usually reflects the identity you quietly carry inside. If you see yourself as someone whose voice doesn't matter, people often treat you that way. If you see yourself as someone worthy of respect, your actions slowly begin to communicate it without words. Remember, confidence isn't walking into a room believing you're better than everyone else. It's walking into a room knowing you don't need to prove your worth to anyone. Respect isn't created in one dramatic moment. It's built through hundreds of tiny decisions nobody notices. The pauses you choose, the promises you keep, the boundaries you protect, the calmness you maintain under pressure. Those small choices become your identity, and your identity becomes your reputation. So the next time you wonder why nobody takes you seriously, don't start by changing your voice. Don't start by changing your clothes. Don't even start by changing other people's opinions. Start with the quiet conversation happening inside your own mind. Because the way you speak to yourself today quietly teaches the world how to speak to you tomorrow.